Hi there, my name is Laika and welcome to Team Laika, where we try to help you prepare better for your next exam. Now, this video right here is part 2 of our subject-verb agreement revamp. And if you're watching this and part kayo ng ating members or channel members and sponsors, go ahead and find the full video na available lamang sa inyo kasi that's longer with more exercises that you can use to practice, okay? This one is for free. This is for everyone. And again, thank you so much doon sa mga sponsors natin, sa mga bumibili ng merch, bumibili ng books because they are the ones who allow me to create free content like this for everyone, okay? So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, go ahead and check that out too. Ililink ko rin siya dito sa video na ito. Kasi today, we're going to talk about more, tricky na rules na hindi madalas ginagamit pero kailangan yung matutuhan. Okay, let's jump right in. In the first video, napag-usapan na natin ang pinaka-basic, foundational na rule when it comes to subject-verb agreement. To make it simpler, sabi ko, kapag singular may S, kapag plural wala. Hindi lang sa spelling ng word na singular at plural, pero doon sa mangyayari sa mga verb nila. Now, of course, a longer version of that rule would be to say that pag singular ang subject, dapat singular din ang verb, kaya may S. At kapag plural naman ang subject, edi dapat plural din ang verb, na kadalasan ay walang S. May 10 rules na tayong napag-usapan before, so we're going to start with rule number 11. Rule number 11 sounds a lot like one of the rules we discussed before. Pero kailangan ko to i-stress kasi yung iba, naguguluhan pa rin dito. Nakita ko dun sa mga pa-quiz ko na libre, marami nagkakamali dito. Now, it says that nouns with or, the word or, even without either, follow the proximity rule. Now, napag-usapan natin dati, ang ibig sabihin ng proximity rule ay kung sino ang mas malapit doon sa verb, siya ang masusunod. Kung siya ay singular o plural, siya ang magdidikta ng kung ano yung verb na gagamitin natin for the sentence. Now, important to kasi we have to choose kung ano yung words na binabantayan natin. At hindi lang for either or, neither nor nangyayari ang proximity rule. Pwede rin for sentences na may multiple subjects. Sometimes they call it compound subjects or multiple subjects in one sentence. The cat or the dogs is or are sleeping on my couch. Kahit walang either, dahil meron kang salitang or, ang masusunod ay yung subject na pinakamalapit doon sa verb, in this case, a be verb, na nandoon sa sentence. So, ibig sabihin nun, dahil ang dogs ay plural, dapat plural din ang ating verb, walang S, are. The cat or the dogs are sleeping on my couch. Now, paano naman kung baliktad yung pwesto ng mga subjects na to sa sentence? The dogs or the cat is or are sleeping on my couch. You would notice, halos pareho maliban sa pwesto nung the dogs at the cat. Pero dahil this time mas malapit na yung cat na singular, kasi iisa lang siya, kailangan may S din yung ating verb. The answer becomes is. The dogs or the cat is sleeping on my couch. Kaya pag-isipan nyo rin kung sino yung mga pinapayagan ninyong lumapit sa inyo. Kasi minsan, sila yung nasusunod. Rule number 12, there are nouns that seem plural but are treated as singular. Sa formula natin, ang ibig sabihin nun, singular subjects that look plural are still singular and require a singular verb. Now, the best way to show you this would be to give you an example. These are just some examples of words na ganito. They seem plural but are treated as singular. And I find that they belong to 3 categories, at least yung mga common ones. At para madaling tandaan, puro S na lang sila. S for subjects like mathematics, economics, physics, astrophysics, at kung ano-ano man yan, na may S sa dulo, kaya parang plural, pero sa totoo lang is singular talaga. Sicknesses or illnesses like measles, rickets, at iba pa. Itong mga salitang ito, ginagamit natin with an S, pero kung papansinin nyo, pag tinanggal ko yung S na yan, wala namang ganong salita. Walang measles. Measles talaga siya. Sports and games, like billiards, darts, at iba pa, na maramihan ang tunog kasi may S sa dulo, pero kung yung sports mismo ang pinag-uusapan, they're taken as one. Let's see them in action. Checkers is or are our family's favorite board game. Now, kung mapapansin ninyo, yung checkers ay merong S. Pero ang tanong, does that make it plural? Eh di ba board game ang pinag-uusapan? That could be your clue. So yung checkers is just one game. Which means, ito ay singular and requires a singular verb. The correct answer is. Checkers is our family's favorite board game. Kahit may S yung salitang checkers. Which can sound a little bit awkward, lalo na kung sanay lang kayo sa listening rule. Kaya nga natin pinag-uusapan tong mga medyo weird na rules na ito. Rule number 13, this is also very tricky. There are nouns that are plural in form but mean one item, which still require plural verbs. Ano ibig sabihin ko dito? Words like glasses, scissors, pants, and shorts. Kung i-visualize mo, mag-isip ka na lang ng patahian, yung may sastre o kaya mananahe. Kasi most of these you will see there. Glasses, scissors, pants, and shorts. Na kahit S ang nasa dulo, at tunog plural din, they mean one thing. A pair of scissors, a pair of pants, a pair of shorts. But, again, even if they mean one thing, we still choose plural verbs for them. Unless nakasulat yung a pair of. Let me show you. If we have a sentence like this, your glasses is or are crooked, ano yung gagamitin natin? Kung tutuusin, yung glasses, isa lang naman. Pero, kahit na ganon, at ang pinatutungkulan niya ay isang bagay lang, the plural form requires a plural verb. So, ibig sabihin nun, glasses should be paired with are. Your glasses are crooked. Hindi your glasses is crooked. It only becomes is if ang nakalagay pair of glasses. In that case, pwede nang is. Tricky kaya natin pinag-uusapan. Rule number 14 na tayo. Sa mga questions that start with does or do in interrogative sentence, do is used for plural subjects and does naman for singular subjects. Now, meron tong exception, which is kapag ginagamit natin yung subject na I or you in the first or second person singular. Now, medyo mouthful yon, pero may discussion naman tayo nito na hiwalay sa do, does, did. Isi-stress ko lang siya dito sa subject-verb agreement kasi minsan, dahil nakabaliktad yung tanong, nakabaliktad yung sentence, naliligaw ang ibang tao sa kung sino ba ang subject niya. Let's look at an example. Does or do cats cost more than dogs? Now, sino pinag-uusapan dito? Ang pinag-uusapan ay cats. So, dahil plural ito, may S, maraming cat, ang tamang gamitin ay do. Do cats cost more than dogs? Na kung ang nakalagay ay a cat, in that case, the answer becomes does. Kasi yung a cat is just one cat, singular. Does a cat cost more than dogs? Now, paano kung i-combine natin yung mga rules na napag-usapan natin? If you have a sentence like this, does or do the players or the coach make the final call? Mukhang simple pero pag inisip mo parang hindi na siya masyadong simple sa naghalo-halong rules na, di ba? Pero, again, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay kung sino ang mas malapit doon sa do or does. Sino bang mas malapit? Yung players o yung coach? It's actually the players. Siya ang mas malapit doon sa does and do, therefore, siya ang masusunod. Now, I needed to stress this kasi sa rule number 11 natin, di ba, yung pangalawa dun sa dalawang salita na pinagigitnaan ng or ang masusunod. Pero this time, kapag interrogative sentence na do or does, yung nauuna dun sa or ang masusunod sa do or does. So, players is plural, kaya dapat ang gagamitin natin ay do. Do the players or the coach make the final call? Para maging does yan, dapat baliktad. Does the coach or the players make the final call? Now, if you notice, hindi nagpapalit yung salitang make. nasa base form niya siya. And that is a rule when it comes to interrogative sentences. It always takes the base form. Parang yung kanina, cost, hindi costs. Whether cat o cats o dog o dogs, ang salitang nauuna dito. Again, in do or does sentences, this stays in its base form. Pero kung sentence lang siya at hindi ito tanong, ito ang verb na maaapektuhan ng singular at plural. Sabi ko sa inyo, mas advanced na tong part 2 eh. Rule number 15, abstract and uncountable nouns are singular. Now, to know how this works, you need to know kung ano ibig sabihin ng abstract at uncountable nouns. To make it simple, abstract nouns are those na hindi makikita ng naked eye, hindi mahahawakan, hindi tangible o makukuha ng senses natin pero nararamdaman. It may be a concept, it may be a truth, it may be a feeling, something like faith, hope, love, na hindi makikita, hindi mahahawakan, pero nag-exist. Uncountable nouns naman, by its name, ay un o not countable. Hindi mabibilang. Ito yung too many to count, kumbaga. Buhangin, bigas, hangin, tubig. Let's look at a few examples. Again, sa category ng abstract nouns, we have advice, progress, love. Sa uncountable naman, water, air, rice. Now, unless daragdagan ko ng isang salita o dalawa, hindi magiging clear kung gaano sila karami. I need to say pieces of advice, steps toward progress, stages of love, a bottle of water, a container of air, cup of rice. Now, tingnan natin siya in action. Your homework is or are due tomorrow. Obviously, homework is not a word na nandun sa examples na nilista ko kanina. But it's because marami ring examples out in the real world. And you will need to figure out if uncountable ba siya or abstract on the fly. So much like the word work, na hindi natin binibilang ng 1 work, 2 work, 3 work, hindi natin binibilang ang 1 homework, 2 homework, 3 homework, pero pwede natin sabihin na 3 pieces of homework. By going on that narrative, by asking those questions, makukuha natin that the answer here has to be is. Your homework is due tomorrow. Another way to look at it is to see how awkward it is kung daragdagan mo ng S yung salitang ito. Homeworks. Philippinism yan kasi madalas natin itong naririnig. Pero actually, hindi dapat yan nilalagyan ng S. So, balikan natin. Advice is. Progress is. Love is. Water is. Air is. Rice is. Magiging R lang siya kung daragdagan natin siya ng clue words na nagsasabi that we are talking about more than just that noun. Rule number 16 na tayo. Again, when I put up pre-tests, marami nagkakamali dito. Time, distance, and money are singular. Ano ibig sabihin natin dito? If we're talking about 20 seconds, kahit may S siya, if we're talking about 500 pesos, kahit 500 siya, at pesos yun. If we're talking about that chunk of change, that distance, that measurement, we treat it as singular. Sa category ng time, things like 5 years, 10 minutes, 3 days, kahit na may S, kahit na mahigit sa isa, kasi nakalagay mismo yung number dyan, we treat it as singular. Let's look at this. 50,000 pesos, blank, is or are a fair price for that laptop. So again, 50,000 pesos ang presyo nung laptop. This chunk ng money, yung kabuuan niya, yun ang price nung laptop. Hindi yung 50,000 piraso ng tig-pipiso ang pinag-uusapan, kundi yung mismong presyo niya. So, we treat it as singular. The answer is. 50,000 pesos is a fair price for that laptop. Same thing for those who talk about distance and time. 5 meters is enough for this stress. 30 minutes is all I have to teach you. Kahit na may S, is pa rin. Gets? Rule number 17 is something I won't dive into kasi meron tayong nakahiwalay na lesson specifically for this. So if you haven't seen yung video natin on the subjunctive mood, I was, I were, go ahead and check that out muna. Ang rule number 17 goes like this. The subjunctive mood pairs singular subjects with what we usually use as plural verbs. Ang subjunctive mood ay kung may if, may wish, may hangarin, something that happened in the past na wini-wish mong sana mababago mo pero hindi mo kayang baguhin, or kung nag-iisip ka ng bagay na hindi naman posibleng mangyari. Again, a quick example of that would be the song If I Were a Boy ni Beyonce. If I were a boy, hindi if I was a boy kahit na yung I ay isa lang, dahil you're talking about something na hindi mangyayari. Again, full discussion on that video. Go ahead and watch that na lang. Kasi, ngayon it's time for your quick quiz. Pagkasama-samahin natin lahat na natutuhan natin sa first video at dito, at tingnan natin how well you do. Okay? Go grab a piece of pen and paper. Your timer starts now. Alright, let's see how you did. Sabi dito, Peter's mind is buzzing. Ibig sabihin daw, marami siyang iniisip. The managers or the director signs or signed the checks for productivity bonuses today. Sino ang magsasign? Sino ang malapit dito? Is it the managers or the director? Sabi natin kapag merong or, ang nasusunod yung mas malapit sa verb. That would be the director. Dahil siya ay isa lang, singular, dapat may S, signs. The managers or the director signs the checks for productivity bonuses today. Number 2, economics is or are not the new hire strongest suit. Now, economics, again, is a subject. Napag-usapan na natin yan. Pasok siya sa S category natin, ng subject, is. Economics is not the new hire's strongest suit. She seemed confused the entire meeting. Mukhang nahirapan siya intindihin yung economics. Kaya na huli daw siya sa meeting. Those glasses isn't or aren't supposed to be there. Again, glasses. Usapan natin kanina, even if they mean just one thing, we treat it as plural. So the answer is aren't. Hindi isn't. Does or do interns handle client calls during peak hours? Sa do or does, ang subject natin yung sumusunod. So, we have the word interns. Interns ay plural. Ibig sabihin nun, yung sagot natin, dapat wala ng S, do. Do interns handle client calls during peak hours? 5 minutes na tayo. 5 minutes is or are not enough to review the proposal. Sabi natin, again, kung isang chunk of time, ang 5 minutes, we treat it as singular. So, 5 minutes is not enough to review the proposal before the next meeting starts. Next, if the CEO was or were in the office today, decisions would be made quickly. If is the word there. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyong rule number 17, subjunctive mood. So, kahit na yung CEO ay isang tao lang, we actually choose to use were. If the CEO were in the office today, decisions would be made quickly. And last, air. Air blank what Peter needs to calm down. Air is an uncountable noun, so we treat it as singular. Air is what Peter needs to calm down. Do you need a little bit of air then to calm down? Again, it gets trickier, but the more you know, the better you would be at spotting these tricky things para pagdating sa exam, makuha niyo yung tamang sagot. Again, thank you sa inyong lahat for supporting the channel, those who are part of the community, those who buy the merch, buy the books, are part of the online review program. Isang malaking salamat sa inyong lahat dahil nagagawa natin ang mga bagay na ito at hopefully mas marami pa tayong magagawa in the future. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that bell icon kasi marami pa tayong pag-uusapan soon. And as always, lagi natin sinasabi sa channel na to, never stop learning. Aja, kaya niyo yan. I'll see you in my next video and bye for now.